Haven't you ever had a boyfriend, or haven't you ever been somebody's girlfriend? Because I'm just too good for anybody out there.
Immediately he asked for my number, and I was like, to do what?
Has like 200-300 likes on Hinge, but you're only matching 2 people, and then you go on dates with both of them and you didn't like them, then you have no options.
Absolutely. If you don't want people approaching you in the grocery store, you have every right to say that. But as a collective, I'm worried because I'm like, if they can't approach us in the grocery store, I fear that their only option is DM.
Guys, I'm tired of sleeping alone. I just want to sleep with someone.
Listen, you gotta be okay with not being approached, especially as a baddie.
And girl, you can be a strong, black, independent woman.
Doing my dating series, I upset a few people. Nothing new here. When I was saying to the girls, listen, you gotta be okay with not being approached, especially as a baddie. Like, you're all put together, you have your own all your ducks in a row. When people first see you outside, remember, this is their first impression of you. People automatically try to fit people in boxes. That's why sometimes the first question somebody will ask you when they're getting to know you is like, what do you do? Now, the what do you do comes attached to like a status symbol. They want to see how much respect that they should give you based off what you do. Now, if you take that same principle and just have your first impression, so for example, if your hair's done, if you look expensive, are you wearing a nice handbag? Do you have lovely jewelry on? Are you wearing a nice watch? How together you look like? People will purposely not approach you out of respect.
Someone call a search party because these TikToks are lost in Delulu land.
It's not because you're ugly or butters or, you know, they're thinking you're unobtainable. You're in the wrong room. That's what's not clicking. You literally look too expensive to them. Like, they would not be able to maintain you. They wouldn't know where to take you. These are all things that are running through their head. You could be the most down-to-earth, humble person, but the way you carry yourself, the way you walk into a room, light up a room, the conversations that you're having, the laughter that you're bringing, everything tied together will make somebody look at you and say, yeah, this one might be above where I'm at. It's the same kind of thing that I saw a guy, I think his name's Amigo on here, he was talking about, when he was like, men prefer, their preference is to go for somebody who's intellectually not on the same level as them, like beneath them. They don't want the challenge. Why subject yourself to a life of being misunderstood? You're in the wrong room. I don't know, like, I tell people all the time, like, you're in the wrong room. You're not gonna find your husband in Clapham, in flipping Simmons. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're in the wrong place. You're surrounding yourself or setting yourself up for failure because you're gonna commit yourself to a life of somebody misunderstanding you. What a terrible way to go. Like, we're far too old for that now. Just use common sense and have discernment. And if you don't have those things, then you're probably where you should be. You know what I mean? That was the point of the video.
Yeah, so what's the answer? How are these ladies supposed to get men? She gave a quick TED talk with no solution. Like, for instance, when I give a TED talk, when I tell my 2 cents, I give a solution. That's the problem with the date market nowadays. Females have no solution, and men are stuck twiddling their fingers. Why? Because at least they leave, they're stuck with you. But also, I'll tell guys, you can get somebody out there, but you already know what the deal is.
Guys, I'm tired of sleeping alone. I'm tired of sleeping alone. I don't even want to like do or anything. I just want to sleep with someone. I just want to sleep next to someone. I'm just tired of sleeping alone. That's all I want. Just sleep be my sleep buddy. Is that a thing?
And I'm feeling just like
I'm carrying the burden of life for myself. I think as someone, no one talks about the exhaustion that comes with carrying life every day by yourself. And like, as much as we're like, I'm a single woman, I love it, da, da, da. And it's great to be single. Like, I'm finding so much about myself being single, but it's also kind of sad sometimes. Like, yeah, I have friends and stuff, and I date, but I think there's like a sadness I feel and like not finding someone to hold me in these spaces.
Loneliness epidemic age. A lot of women live boring lives and are more lonely than you think. You might say, well, they have a lot of guys in their DMs all the time. But most, if not all of those guys in their DMs, they just want to have sex with them. And you might think, well, they tell the girls that they want to marry them and do this and do that. But guys will say anything just to get a bit of coochie, man. And the reason as to why there's a female loneliness epidemic is because of feminism. That scam turned women into the very men they wanted. Focus on yourself, bro. You ain't missing out on nothing. Hit that follow button for more tips.
Hi, quick PSA. Anything that has to do with being a strong woman, anything that has to do with being a strong black woman, please count me out of it. I'm not interested. Please, please, anything with concern strong woman. I beg, remove them for me. Change them for me, please. Please, please, thank you.
Yes, I'm still in bed. Yes, I am. I'm not about to sit here and jump on the bandwagon talking about I don't need a man. I don't need a man. You don't need a man, girl. You can be a strong, black, independent woman. I don't want it. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to take the trash out. I don't want to put gas in my car. I don't want to go get my car and the oil changed and the tires rotated. I want a man to do it for me. I don't want to take the bags from the car up the stairs in the house. I don't want to do it. I don't want to cut off the arm circulation because I'm only a one-trip type of... I don't want to go through it no more. I'm ready. I think I'm ready to settle down. I'm ready to split these bills. I'm ready to do the 20 and he do the 80. I'm ready for it, Lord. Send me him.
People come to me and they basically like ask me or like, why like haven't you ever had a boyfriend or haven't you ever been somebody's girlfriend? Because I'm just too good for anybody out there.
It's delusional.
Like, I'm pretty, I'm smart, I'm kind, I'm educated, I have 2 degrees, I speak 3 languages, I make over $100,000 a year, I work at one of the biggest accounting firms in the world, can cook, I can bake, I live a healthy lifestyle, a great friend, I'm a great daughter, I have hobbies, I've been to therapy, I'm intentional, I'm ambitious, I'm well-traveled, I'm celibate, I have a lot to offer and I bring so much to the table, as the men will say. I feel like that will be wasted on a bum. So until I find someone who is on the same level as me, I will continue to remain single because I'm okay with that.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Truly. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that. But I'm pretty damn close. Oh no.
You know, this is the problem. Most of these ladies realize I need to put down that strong female too late. Some girls, a little bit younger, not quite like her, saying I need a man, they may still get lucky, right? Like, for instance, the second girl saying I need somebody to hold me, she's young, she may still get lucky. But the problem is, so many ladies, like, look at what she said. I'm this, I'm that. You guys saw plenty of videos like that before, right? But the one thing she didn't say is I'm overweight. I'm this, I have a bachelor's, I make over 100,000. I'm overweight. I didn't hear that one time. I'm overweight. I have no boobs. Seriously, guys are looking at this. You're somewhat cute, but you're talking about perfection. If everything you're saying is perfect in your eyes, how about you accomplish everything? But you know what happened? We've seen other females who were like that before. We saw it all before. Females that looked the part, but what are guys going to look at? the attitude. And that attitude ain't cutting it. It ain't gonna work.
Approach a woman. Obviously, it's not the gym. We've seen the discourse on that. However, I saw a video today of a lady saying that a man approached her in a grocery store and she was like, oh my God, we can't even go to the grocery store in peace. And to that woman specifically, I say, absolutely. If you don't want people approaching you in the grocery store, you have every right to say that. But as a collective, I'm worried because I'm like, if they can't approach us in the grocery store, I fear that their only option is DM. And I don't want an internet love story. So now I want to know from the women, like, where is home base? Like, where are we going to say, like, yes, if we are here, feel free to respectfully approach? What is that space? It can't only be from the comfort and safety of my phone. There's got to be a way in a space where I'm like, yeah, it's totally cool if you come up to me during this time if you see me here. Because I fear we're running out of options, and God forbid my husband is like user 55 on Instagram and I like never open his DM. You know?
Yeah, she's gotten to a point. She sees what's happening and she can see no hope. And she understands it's not just me. But what she doesn't realize is from talking like this, you're doomed. And not you, most other females. Because you see, she's saying, hey, ladies, what are we doing? But you have a lady that gets on TikTok every day and will shout to the mountaintops, this, and this. But you know what? I tell guys, like I've had guys say, hey, Jay, I'm doing what I need to do. I want to go here now. I will say this. No matter where you go, you still need to be on top of your game. And that's facts. You still need to be exercising. You still need to be outgoing. You still will have to approach first when you go outside. So there's no avoiding that. But what men are avoiding is not knowing who. That's the issue. You see guys make it a big issue and say, okay, things are good here. They're trying to make the West look good. I will say this. There are still many places where I'll say this. When I moved out of the West, I instantly was making not a lot of money, but decent money. There's so many states where minimum wage is still $7.25. What is that? 14 states? That's a problem. And so I say to you guys out there, and I gotta definitely give a little commercial. If you want to make extra money or quit what you're doing now, because that's what I did about 15 years ago. I stopped doing what I was doing and I transitioned. What do I mean? I worked online for at least 4 or 5 years to make sure I was secure. I say that because, somebody will work online and they think it's supposed to happen overnight. It doesn't work like that. If you want to know what it is I do, this is one of the things I do. I hire people to do work for me, meaning I pay them a couple of dollars an hour, right? And then I turn around and make thousands. And I know companies out here in the Philippines doing this right now and going from 0 to 3 million in 3 years. This stuff is real. This is what I've been doing for so long. I have videos edited for me and then have them get it over to my wife, which is the master editor. And ever since I've came here, that's what we're doing. So definitely reach out to me, link in the description, and I'll be sure to give a consultation. And when I give my consultations, guys realize, wow, because I say this. That's why I say it in videos. You'll know, I'll show you in 10 minutes how to go from 0 to thousands, if not 100,000. Don't believe me? It's definitely worth it, right? This is what you have to understand. You see that lady that was talking? I got to bring her up on the screen. I'm only saying this because it's true. You see how she's talking about, I need a man that's not a bum? You can literally make more than this girl. Think I'm lying. Test me out. And you know what's wild? She went to college to do everything she's doing. I can show you for $100 how to make thousands. If you're smart enough, millions. And I show you how to be smart enough. Definitely reach out to me. It's worth the investment.
I do not go for men who pursue me first. Let me tell you why. Because a man who pursues me first is pursuing other women. Okay? There's only two options here. It's either he pursues other women, or you're his absolute dream girl, and for some grace of God, that day, he decided to have the confidence to go up to his dream girl. A man who has the confidence to come up to you and to continuously pursue you is doing that to multiple other women. And that is why I don't believe that women should just attract and not chase. I believe women should chase. I believe if you like someone or you want someone, you should 100% go for him.
I agree somewhat on that.
Especially if it's someone who doesn't go up to women.
See, now I agree with her somewhat, but she's not thinking logically. And that's the problem with the dating market nowadays. A lot of them don't think logically. What do I mean? Before I left the West, I had no problem talking to females. But I didn't talk to every female I saw because men go through something. What is that? Men go through fatigue. Men get fatigued. You know what started happening? I stopped talking to the ones I wanted and start going for the ones who wanted me more than I wanted them. And that's when I started winning. And that's even before I left the West. But that's what she has to understand. She doesn't get it. Like, so you're going to do the same thing that y'all are doing on the dating apps. You're going to go and talk to the one you want that you feel is hot. In your eyes, not talking to girls, or maybe talking to girls, he still could be talking to every girl walking. He just decided not to talk to you that day. That can happen too. But I don't know. Let them keep thinking the way they think and keep getting the results they get, because she'll do that and still, why can't I get a man that's a good man? Same old thing.
When you want that option. And we all know this. When a girl has like 200-300 likes on Hinge, but you're only matching 2 people, and then you go on dates with both of them and you didn't like them, then you have no options, right? And I think the position from the conversations that I've had, a lot of women find themselves in is, especially when they're baddies or super attractive, the guys don't really like them. They just like what they look like. So, and these are stories I've been told. They'll match someone. They'll get asked out on a date. They'll get picked up in a car. They'll go to a nice restaurant. The guy will spend 200, 300, 400 pounds on dinner. He'll offer to, put them in the car back. He'll invite her to, come in, and she'll say no. And then that will be the only date that she will go on with that person. And the reason why is because all through the date, the guy didn't really ask her too many questions, just talked about what he does, what he has, tried to show off, said that she's attractive and she's beautiful and gave her compliments, but didn't actually get to know what she's interested in or what she likes. So then when they text afterwards and the guy's like, oh, I had a great time, we should do this again. She's like, how? You just talked at me for 2 hours. Do you know what I mean? And this is a true story. These are stories that I hear. Or it's a guy who's like really attractive. He might have some money too. And because he knows he gets other women, he's just trying to be low effort and getting her to come around or getting her to just go on a drive in the car. At a certain point, especially when a girl is attractive, a dinner is not going to impress them. A nice car is not going to impress them. A good job is not going to impress them because they've probably seen it already. And as much as guys like to think that every girl wants this top-end money, top-end height, top-end looks, there are just people who have regular personalities. It's not just looks, There are pretty girls in Sunderland who want to stay in Sunderland and want to be with a regular person. I have spoken to baddies where they've heard my accent, they've heard what I do, and they're like, you seem too serious for me. I don't want someone like you. And I'm like, damn, I'm just a regular guy, do you know what I mean? So the point I'm making is the standard is not that high. Obviously, you have to put an effort into how you look, how you carry yourself. And let's be realistic. You do have to have money in general to maintain any relationship because finances do matter. It's just not as much as you think, right? There's a lot of people who do have baddies who are just regular people with regular jobs. They're nice guys, they're well-intentioned, and they just did what was necessary for the other person to like them because they actually cared about, who that person was past their looks and all of that stuff. But you don't have to believe me. Like, at the end of the day, I'm just talking on the internet. You can live your life and, do whatever you want. Anyway, it's just my opinion.
No, the man makes sense. But you have the echo chambers on the internet have gotten out of hand. Guys hear that and it gives them a sour taste in their mouth. And men are just tired. That's what it is. But you can see here that more and more are admitting the same thing. I feel empty inside. Guys aren't talking to me. Where are the men? They're hopeless. And what's happening is what you thought was going to happen and continue to go on in the future stopped. Now girls got to deal with it. Welcome to your future. It's here.
A guy came up to me yesterday and he was my height. He was not attractive. And when he told me what he did for work, I was just kind of there like, what am I supposed to do with this package that I'm seeing right in front of me? Immediately he asked for my number and I was like, to do what? Like, what do you want to do with my number? And he was like, so I can, contact you. And I was like, to say what? When you saw me, you decided that we could one day go together real bad. And I am offended by that. I put in time, energy, and a lot of money to look like this. Now you want to come offering me nothing so that I can continue to maintain myself and then you get to reap all the benefits for free? Patriarchy is a scary thing, man. It's a scary thing, bro. I think men should start approaching women like they do if you're giving a 2-minute elevator pitch to an investor. 7 guys came up to me yesterday. You have 2 minutes to explain to me why you should get my number. Because he came up to me once and I said no. And I told him to circle back when he has, an explanation or reasoning for why he should have my number. So then he came back 30 minutes later and then he was like, okay, well, I have reasons. I said, okay, cool. What is the reason? He was like, I like long walks on the beach. I walked away. I'm truly offended.
Man. One thing I gotta say, because you see what the last guy just said, and you saw what she just said. I will say, because I noticed this when I was in the West, the girls that are the finest, a lot of times are more lenient than her. I've always found that. But also, it's a lot of girls who are the finest, who are the worst. So it's one of those things you gotta keep talking to see what it is. But still, I say any man out there, definitely see attraction. You don't see any attraction, and that's why I get when some guys say like they don't. I'm one of those kind of guys. Create the attraction with my lips, right? But not by looking sexy. Not LL J like, yeah, girl. Not like that. By talking, but. And that's the reason why I went against guys that said that. But I understand it. Nowadays, a man has to sit out attraction. Or he's just spinning his wheels and wasting his time. She told him no. He should have took that as a no and kept going. He made the mistake.
A lot of women on the internet saying like, yeah, it's so easy to get a boyfriend. Male attention is everywhere. It's very low value. They are climbing through your windows, clawing at your doors. Like, then you may be listening to this, feeling invisible to men, being like, oh, but like, that's not the case for me. Everybody says it's so easy to get a boyfriend, but for me, it's not. There must be something wrong with me. I must be ugly. Wrong conclusion. Wrong conclusion. You might be ugly, but if you're a woman, that's not the reason why you're single. I'm just kidding. Every single woman that I can like see her profile when she complains about like chronic singleness is like always a beautiful, like objectively beautiful woman. What's the disconnect here? How come there's like beautiful women that say like getting male attention is so easy, and also beautiful women that are like, no, it's really difficult. It's really hard. I'm going to tell you what's going on. First off, the women who are saying attention is everywhere are on dating apps. They're on dating apps. They're putting themselves out there constantly to date. They're on the hunt. Of course, attention is everywhere because they're actively hunting for it. They like to go out like to bars and to clubs. Like they are going out to where people approach each other more often. If they're not doing either of those things, then they might be a true 10 out of 10, which you don't have to be a 10 out of 10 in order to get male attention. That has nothing to do with you. But if you're not on the hunt or going places where you're very likely to be approached, then yeah, you're not going to be beating back the men with a stick like your grandma said you would when you turned 18. Legitimately feels invisible to men and never gets approached. I'm going to speak on that experience because I think that is a normal thing to want. If you're attracted to men, then of course you want to be desirable to them and be approached by them. Please do not crucify me and say I'm centering men. I'm talking to a very specific experience. If you can't relate to it, it's not for you. 1, how you look is kind of your first stop. Now you can be ugly as sin and still get men. That's absolutely possible. But as far as just like being approached, like out at the bar, on the street, how you look does matter. Take inventory of your hair, your skin, your weight. Let me clarify, me personally, I find people with messy hair or skin breaking out and overweight people attractive. I am not fat phobic. But if we were talking about being approached by men, male perspective, they like thin people, people with clear skin, people with neat hair. There are exceptions, okay? But thin people with clear skin and nice hair and makeup on and a cute outfit get approached more. This is true. I'm not saying getting approached by men is the end goal that you need to change your looks for. I'm saying if this is something you want, then take inventory of your looks. Second one is your charisma absolutely does matter. I'm sorry, it does. You have to present yourself as approachable. And this is something I have personal experience with. I've looked relatively consistent my entire life and I did not get approached when I was younger. Now I get approached pretty often because when I go out to the bar, I am not just talking to my friends. I'm making conversation with people. And I'm not talking about hitting on people, going up, asking for their number. I do not do that. I would not recommend you do that. But if I'm ordering a drink at the bar and someone says something I can comment on, I'm 100% of the time commenting on it. Even people I'm not trying to attract, like this is just something I do. I present myself as very approachable, very friendly. I will make friends with anyone. Smile at people. Make eye contact. Don't just talk to your friends. Don't stand in a corner way out of the way. Again, I need to be really clear that I'm not centering men. I don't think the goal of life is to be approached by men. I'm talking about a very, very specific experience. If you feel invisible, these are your first stops.
In public if you're single. I know a lot of women do want this. Like a lot of women want an IRL connection or like a meet cute that's not on a dating app. I also understand it can feel very confronting and scary and sometimes disrespectful when a man comes up to you in public. So for the women who do want that, who want to get off of the app, who do want men to approach them, a lot of men are obviously scared about like crossing boundaries and being creepy. So I'm just curious if anyone has any suggestions.
I finally see what needs to be said. Black men, leave these black women alone.
The Iceman is coming!
Winter is here.